Hi, Professor Wainaina here, your 5 minutes teacher on education, childhood, youth, parenting, and all things school. Welcome. Praise is a powerful tool in parenting. It encourages your child, boosts their self-esteem, and reinforces positive behavior. But like any tool, its effectiveness depends on how it's used. In their enthusiasm to support their children, some parents fall into the trap of overpraising. While the intentions are good, the consequences can be detrimental. Overpraising turns your child into a chronic underachiever, praised for mundane and mediocre achievements so that they fall or they fail to challenge themselves to their full potential. Praise is intended to motivate and inspire your child. When overused, it loses its value and can create a skewed perception of achievement. Children who are constantly praised for every minor accomplishment start to believe that minimal effort is sufficient. This leads to a complacent attitude where they do not strive to improve or push their boundaries. Overpraising creates a false sense of competence. When your child receives constant praise for basic tasks, they will develop an inflated self-image. This results in them avoiding more challenging tasks, fearing that they might not live up to the high expectations set by their previous praise. This avoidance leads to chronic underachievement as they settle for mediocrity rather than striving for higher performance. When you overpraise your child, they will also become afraid of failure. They will avoid taking risks or trying new things because they fear that any failure would undermine the praise they have already received. This fear of failure affects their growth and prevents them from learning through mistakes and setbacks, which are important for personal development and resilience. The other downside of overpraising your child is that it shifts your child's focus from intrinsic motivation to extrinsic motivation and the seeking of external validation. When your child performs tasks solely to receive praise, they will lose interest in the activities themselves. This leads to a lack of passion and genuine engagement in what they do, as their primary goal becomes seeking approval rather than enjoying the process. So, to avoid the pitfalls of overpraising, it's important to set realistic expectations for praise. Not every action needs to be celebrated. Instead, focus on praising specific efforts and improvements. Effective praise should encourage effort and resilience. Celebrate when your child perseveres through a difficult task or when they show improvement over time. This type of praise reinforces the value of hard work and determination. It teaches your child that success is achieved through effort and persistence, not just inherent talent. Balance is important. Apologize alongside praise. Provide constructive feedback that helps your child understand areas of improvement. Constructive feedback should be specific, focusing on behaviors and actions rather than personal attributes. For example, instead of saying you didn't do well, you could say, I noticed you struggled with this part. Let's work on it together. This approach helps children see feedback as a tool for growth rather than a negative judgment. True self-esteem comes from achieving meaningful goals and overcoming challenges. Encourage your child to set realistic, attainable goals and praise their progress towards these goals. Celebrate their successes, but also acknowledge the effort and learning involved in the journey without overpraising. This builds a sense of competence and confidence that is based on real achievements. Pay attention to how your child responds to praise. If you notice they are becoming overly dependent on praise or avoiding challenges, it may be time to adjust your approach. Encourage self-reflection by asking them how they feel about their accomplishments and what they learned from the experience. This helps them internalize their achievements and develop a healthy sense of self-worth. So, while praise is an important tool in parenting, it must be used carefully. Overpraising leads to chronic underachievement, fear of failure, and a lack of intrinsic motivation. By setting realistic expectations, encouraging effort and resilience, balancing praise with constructive feedback, and building self-esteem through real achievements, you can help your child reach their full potential. Remember, the goal is to raise resilient, motivated, and self-sufficient kids who strive for excellence because they find joy and satisfaction in their accomplishments, not just because they seek external validation and praise. Thank you for your time. See you in the next one.